Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and I will get right into all the latest news. The NFL season is quickly coming to an end, but the playoffs still hang in the balance for several teams. Take a look at the teams that have already clinched either their playoff spot, their division title, or both. For these teams that have clinched, it isn't time to rest just yet. Teams still need to compete to earn seeding, and teams like the Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills need to clinch that number one seed, which comes with a first-round bye and a home field advantage. Then, there are teams that are just one win out from a playoff berth and can secure their postseason spot this week. A lot still needs to happen for these teams, including victories and other bubble teams to lose, but hope still remains. If the season ended today, this is how the playoff bracket would look. But with 2 weeks in the regular season remaining, anything can happen. Personally, I hope teams like the Lions and Jaguars that have been historically bad teams can sneak into the playoffs this year. Who doesn't love an underdog story? Speaking of underdogs, the Denver Broncos entered this year as a Super Bowl favorite, but have now been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention for weeks. Not only that, Russell Wilson has been benched, and head coach Nathaniel Hackett has been fired before even completing his first season as the Broncos head coach. This team was the biggest surprise this season, but for all the wrong reasons. Denver now joins the ranks of teams like the Bears, Texans, Colts, and Cardinals, all of which are teams whose seasons will be over by the end of next week. With that said, time to make my picks. It's been a few weeks since the last episode of Sports Corner, but in the last episode, I did again go 4-0 with my picks. Let's continue this streak and end these next 2 weeks on a high note. My four winners are the Cowboys over the Titans, the Chiefs to yet again take down the Broncos, the 49ers to handedly win against the Raiders, and the Chargers to continue their hot streak against the Rams. Outside of professional football, the college football playoffs kick off this weekend. Tomorrow night, we get the Fiesta Bowl, which will feature number 2 Michigan and number 3 TCU squaring off for their spot in the national championship, and the Peach Bowl, which is the matchup between the reigning champs, the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs, against the underdog number 4 ranked Ohio State. Both of these games should be incredible matchups with a lot of scoring and big plays, but my prediction is that Georgia will be facing off against Michigan in the national championship game on January 9th. Both of these teams are favorites to win this weekend, but anything can happen in college football, as we've seen all year long. With all the happenings in the football world, it's been a while since we've talked about baseball. The MLB free agency period is underway, and some big names will be wearing new uniforms next season. Possibly the biggest story so far this offseason has been Carlos Correa. The former Houston Astros shortstop signed a historic 13-year, $350 million contract, tying Bryce Harper for the longest free agent deal in baseball history with the San Francisco Giants. Then, in an incredibly shocking turn of events, the deal fell apart over what's been described as a difference of opinion concerning Correa's physical evaluation. After the quote-unquote failed physical, Correa and the New York Mets agreed on a 12-year, $315 million contract. The Mets have been absolutely loading up their lineup for the future, spending over $800 million on free agents this offseason. Baseball season will begin in just a few short months, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the free agency period plays out. I want to thank you all for joining me again on this week's edition of Sports Corner. Be sure to tune in for some very meaningful football this weekend and come right back here next Friday to catch all the updates. I'm Cole Young, Happy New Year, and I'll see you next time.